Guys, the Sonyverse really sucks. They've taken characters that are supposed to be villains for Spider-Man and turned them to anti-heroes and given them these solo movies that nobody really asked for and most people don't really want. All you have to do is look at Rotten Tomatoes, look at the different review sites, look at forums. People think that these movies, with the exception of Venom, suck. And actually, Venom sucks too, but we'll talk about that a little bit later in this video. Their latest slap in the face to the fans is this little disaster in the making called Kraven the Hunter. I wish they hadn't done this. Let's talk about it. Kraven the Hunter was first introduced in The Amazing Spider-Man number 15 way back in 1964. He's always been portrayed as a foe of Spider-Man, and he's a man that lives for the challenge of a hunt. Have you ever seen the Predator movies? He's a lot like those guys. Or should I say aliens? Are there any female predators? Are they all men? Now I'm kind of curious. Sergei Kravenov is a Russian immigrant who fled to the United States after the February Revolution in Russia. He eventually meets a woman named Aja and she teaches him the way of hunting. And eventually she has him take some sacred herbs that are supposed to make him less violent because she thought this was one dark ass motherfucker with a lot of rage. But instead, the herbs actually have the opposite effect. It exasperates that dark energy inside of him. Not to mention, it gives him some superhuman abilities that make him even more dangerous. He gets superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, and he has the senses of a wolf, basically. In short, he became the ultimate hunter, and he grows bored of animals, and he sought to find some real challenges. This is what led him to becoming a foe of Spider-Man. He considered Spider-Man to be the ultimate hunt. Did you know that director John Watts, the guy who made the previous Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, wanted to originally have Kraven as the villain for that third movie? The ending of Far From Home really seemed like the best way to introduce this fan favorite character. Peter's identity had been revealed to the world by Mysterio, which put a huge target on him. Having Kraven be the villain in that third movie would have made sense. This was really setting it up. We could have had him come to New York seeking to help take down Spider-Man under the guise that he is going to help get justice for Mysterio. Of course, we know he's not really going to be there for justice. He's going to be there to kill something that is supposed to be hard to kill. Tom Holland's Spider-Man has already proven he's extremely agile, a great fighter, and more than up to the task of fighting a villain like Kraven. This would have been a perfect setup for these two to finally meet. It would have given fans something that they've been wanting for a very long time, seeing Spider-Man versus Kraven. Oh, that would have been awesome. Unfortunately, Sony decided that they wanted to make their own solo story for Kraven, and that idea was stripped away. We ended up getting the multiverse storyline, which I did love. I absolutely enjoyed seeing all those characters from the previous Spider-Man movies come back. Seeing Tom Holland team up with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield was amazing. Seeing Norman Osborn back, played by Willem Dafoe. Seeing Dr. Octopus, that movie had so much great stuff. So I'm not complaining with the movie we got. I just think that it would have been awesome to get that Kraven vs. Spider-Man movie. Luckily, Kraven was done a bit of justice in 2023 in the form of Spider-Man 2 on PS5. This Kraven, like his comic book counterpart, was growing bored of his hunting options, and after being shown some footage about all the different freaks New York has to offer, he jumped on the first flight to New York so that he could go hunt himself some supervillains and a Spider-Man. This game was fantastic. It actually features two main villains, and it's remarkably well written. And they managed to perfectly combine the symbiote storyline with Kraven and not have it feel bloated. Guys that wrote the story for these two Spider-Man games by Insomniac, they should be the people that are being brought in for the next Spider-Man movie because these guys understand the source material and they know how to give the fans what they're looking for. In this game, Kraven was animalistic, he was ruthless, he was focused, and he was an absolute machine. He was literally prepared to die to have his hunt. In fact, he was hoping for a noble death at the hands of someone he deemed worthy to him. That's a quality Kraven story. And then there's this, Sony's attempt at making Kraven. It doesn't look too good. And it begs the question, how many more failures is Sony gonna have to experience with this Sonyverse before they finally give it up? They are taking away excellent villains that could have been used in Marvel MCU Spider-Man movies and giving them these poorly written, poorly received movies that just aren't living up to the hype and just really wasting the potential of these characters. These characters aren't meant to be the star of the show. They are Spider-Man villains. And yes, each villain does think that they are doing the right thing. And sure, there is probably a good story to explore with these characters. I just don't think that they need an entire movie to do that. Did you guys feel like Dr. Octopus or the Green Goblin were not properly fleshed out? Did you guys think that they needed a solo movie to properly illustrate who they are and what their intentions are? I don't think so, and that's why I think these Sony movies are such a gigantic waste of time. You're stretching out characters that are supposed to be fighting against Spider-Man, and you're giving us crap. Venom, Morbius, Kraven, these all should have been left as Spider-Man villains. Aaron Taylor Johnson must really be seeking that bread, because I can't imagine why he would sign up for this movie. Did he read the script? Did he look at the previous efforts that Sony has made and noticed the trend of low scores across the board? No one is really rating these movies very high. And with this new live action Kraven movie, they are truly butchering his origin story. And what the fuck? That's just a damn shame, because the guys who gave us the Spider-Man 2 Kraven, they seem to understand the character better. Apparently in this movie, he's an animal activist, I guess. That's what I'm hearing rumors of. That's absolutely insane. I don't care if he's hunting humans and if he's making a bunch of blood and guts. That's not what really matters to me. Yeah, I want Kraven to hunt humans, but if you're taking away the fundamental part that he enjoys hunting animals, that is so wrong. And it is forever going to remain a mystery to me how Venom actually became a trilogy. Why people flocked out to see that second movie after the first movie got such bad reviews is a mystery to me. And if people had boycotted seeing the sequel, they might have stopped dead in their tracks and said, okay, this isn't working. But instead, people flocked to those movies. I don't understand why. And it just emboldened Sony to keep pushing forward with this side character agenda. I saw the first Venom movie, and apart from the character looking great, for the most part, I truly hate the way they portrayed his demeanor. They turned him into a fucking joke. It's a damn shame, and I can't say that I'm expecting anything better with this new Kraven movie. Will we eventually see Tom Holland's Spider-Man go up against Venom or Kraven? Honestly, I hope not. The writing in those movies have been terrible. If you would have put those characters in the MCU and let the MCU writers handle it, then I would have more faith. But if they try to pull Tom Holland into straight up the Sony verse, which has been written by people who really suck at writing, then I am so concerned, and I want Tom Holland to stay far away from that. Don't taint the awesomeness that we had from that previous trilogy with your turds in the Sonyverse. So that's the end of this rant. I am just so disappointed that they are deciding to proceed with more of these solo stories. In fact, I heard something about Silver Sable or, Black Cat movie possibly being back on. I don't want that. I think this is not good. Put these characters back into the Spider-Man movies and just leave them alone. Sony, you don't know what you're doing. Your movies suck. The ratings suck. The MCU is handling it a lot better. The MCU movies lately have been a bit mixed as well, but even at their worst, the MCU movies are better than anything that you are giving us. Leave it to the professionals. You guys suck at this. Anyway, what do you guys think? Put your thoughts on this subject in the comments and let's engage. Let's have a conversation about this. Did you like this video? If you did, hit the like button. And if you want to hear more things from me, movie reviews, some more discussions, then subscribe to this channel. Later.